I've heard a lot of noise, a lot of news about all the people that have been fired from Twitter or X or whatever it's called now. Strangely, we haven't heard much from the media about the many firings in the automotive industry from particularly Ford and General Motors this year. General Motors revealed a new plan, or I should say Mary Barra, the CEO of General Motors, revealed a new plan. She called it winning with simplicity. Now, GM, they apparently are struggling to build enough batteries and to innovate fast enough to make enough electric cars to meet demand. They're saying that by firing more engineers, they can win with simplicity. Interesting. Hello, my friends. Welcome to the channel. It's great to see you. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Sam Evans and you're watching the Electric Viking. Like I said, General Motors and Ford, they have fired many thousands of staff this year in North America in particular, other places as well, but mostly in North America. Now, apparently, General Motors are firing these 200 engineers in the name of simplicity. Mary Barra calls this strategy winning with simplicity. We fire engineers and then we can just be a simple company. Basically just make, I don't know what they plan on making. Anyway, GM is planning to cut 200 engineering positions to save money and reduce complexity. This latest announcement comes right during negotiations with the UAW. UAW are saying they want a huge increase in wages. General Motors, Stellantis and Ford are saying we can't increase wages as much as you say. If we do that, then we just can't produce cars. We wouldn't be able to make a profit. That's what they're saying. During the second quarter earnings call, GM's CEO Mary Barra said that she was revealing GM's winning with simplicity strategy, and apparently this is the first move as part of this new strategy. The engineers won't be booted though. Apparently, General Motors is going to grow in certain segments, and these engineers will likely find a new job elsewhere. Not sure what that means exactly though. Here's what General Motors actually said, so maybe you can make more sense of this than I can. GM is taking steps to rebalance our engineering resources to better align with our growth strategy. This was said by GM spokesperson Kevin Kelly. This will require a small number of engineers to move to other parts of the organization over the next several months. We plan on using them to basically do our printing, get coffees for us. Sorry, I just added that part in. We will work with those who are affected and provide them with an opportunity to apply for open positions. So they have to apply for open positions. I'm not exactly sure what positions are open, but I've had a quick look and I don't find any compelling positions are open right now at General Motors. The second step in saving $2 billion in operating costs over the next 2 years is simplicity. General Motors will reduce design and engineering expense, supplier cost, order complexity, buildable combinations, and manufacturing complexity, said Mary Barra. She also told investors that GM is targeting a 50% reduction in trims available for its internal combustion and electric vehicles. It's just going to take costs out of every part of the business and make everything more efficient by firing by firing the engineers that work on internal combustion engines, is what Mary Barra meant to say. To be honest, it doesn't really come as much of a surprise. What exactly would they have been doing? Working on General Motors' new V8 engines that they're working on right now? Well, they are, by the way. Or working on GM's new 7-litre V8 engine, one of the biggest engines in the world. In fact, it will be the biggest engine in the world when it goes on sale within the next few months. I don't know, maybe those projects are already complete and they have no need for engineers for internal combustion anymore. Let's hope that that's true, but I have no idea what's going on. The 2023 Chevrolet Suburban is an interesting candidate for trim reduction. So are many of GM's models that aren't really selling all that well. That model is available in 7 trims and 13 configurations, making for hundreds of possible different variants. Now, if you compare that to the Cadillac Lyriq, it's available in 3 trims in 7 different configurations. So much more simple. Now, I don't see really how that has anything to do with engineers though. So this is kind of a bit of a sidetracking from the main issue here. And the main issue really is that GM will continue to fire more and more of its engineers that work on internal combustion. And so will Ford, so will every company in the world, except Mazda. Mazda are going to ride it till the end. They're just going to ride off into the sunset on internal combustion. That's what they've said anyway. GM has already identified where it can save $1 billion in fixed costs next year. This will offset the $1 billion in depreciation and amortization that GM expects on the way to cutting costs. Earlier this year, roughly 5,000 of GM's permanent employees took a voluntary buyout, saving the company $1 billion and helping it avoid layoffs. Barra stated that it can save another $800 million by cutting sales and marketing expenses and travel and administrative costs. Apparently, toilet paper now is, well, BYO, as in bring your own. At least GM started saving marketing costs in 2022 by pulling advertising from the toilet bowl, formerly known as Twitter, shortly after Elon Musk took over, says a number of different social media websites, CNBC, etc. Now, apparently, pulling advertising from Twitter was a brilliant, genius decision that has saved the company a lot of money. But the truth is here that GM was never really spending much money advertising on Twitter, and I don't really see how that made a significant difference. Anyhow, GM is still struggling to get its next generation electric vehicles completed, to get battery packs ramped up. Apparently, GM is only offering around $17, about $16 to $17 per hour. McDonald's workers are getting paid more, so they're struggling to get staff. Now, that is a true fact. I reported on that in a separate video many months ago. However, GM has introduced the new Cadillac Escalade IQ, which is a pretty compelling looking electric vehicle, but they haven't really ramped production up yet of their existing EVs, the Blazer, the Hummer, there's a bunch of them. GM does have the Equinox EV arriving next year though, which they say will start at $30,000, but GM have also said, won't be able to make a profit on cars, EVs priced from $30,000 to $40,000 until 2030 at the earliest. So you can see why it's very important for them to cut costs right now. So what are your thoughts on this? Let me know what you think of GM's plan. I think it is definitely essential for them to cut costs. But really, firing more than 5,000 staff in a year, that's a pretty big number. It's kind of weird because Tesla continues to hire more and more staff in North America, and the media just crucifies them on a daily basis. Basically, just makes stuff up about them on a pretty regular occasion. GM, though, on the other hand, they fire, 5,000 staff. No one really says anything. It's just strange. Anyhow, let me know your thoughts. Am I missing something? Maybe I am.